Hello and welcome to another episode of Naija Football Talk. My name is Chima and this is a very special week for fans of European football. Guess why? The UEFA competition draws have finally taken place and some of the best teams are going to be playing each other come February. We are very excited to see what the games hold for us, and we are very excited for the new year. I mean, the new year is going to start off with some amazing football. Am I right, guys?
Of course.
It's something we're looking forward to. But before we start thinking and hoping and anticipating the new year, we're here to discuss all of the action of Europe's top 5 leagues from the past game week. And as usual, I have Kolade and Bolu with me to do justice to all of the talking points from the past game week. When we come back from this short break, we'll be going straight into the talk. Stay with us.
Looking for the best websites for your next game day stake? Topbets.com.ng has the juice on all of Nigeria's best gaming websites from Nigeria's biggest gaming companies. Compare the odds and markets and make the best choice for you before you make your next stake. Check out game day reviews, previews, top tips, and predictions to help you make the best choice.
Welcome back to the show. My name is Chima, and as usual, I have Kolade and Bolu with me to do justice to all of the talking points from the past game week. Thank you so much to our sponsors, stopbets.com.ng, for helping us keep this show on the air, and thank you, our dear subscribers, for keeping us alive, keeping us going, giving us your likes, your comments, and for sharing our content, which is giving us a lot of hope for the future. Thank you so much for doing this for us. And I want you to also follow our Instagram, where we have a special show on Nigerian ballers. Later we'll talk about that. But before that, let's go straight into the action of the day. We're starting off with the Premier League. And when it comes to the Premier League, one of the biggest parts, one of the biggest things we like to enjoy is the FPL. And yes, it's been quite a wild ride this season. Last season was terrible, but this season seems to be, even more terrible, if that English actually exists. So let's start off with you, Bolu. How was your week?
It was a good week in some parts and bad in some other parts, because Salah came through for me. Conor Gallagher came through. Trent, Alexander-Arnold, all those guys. But then the rest of the team still was disappointing. Demarai Gray. I've used my wild card now, and I'm hoping for better fortunes with my team, because it's been horrible the last few weeks.
It's been really horrible, man. It's been really horrible. See, FPL is quite a tricky thing, because you have to keep monitoring stats, keep monitoring form and everything. But what do you think is the problem why the heavy hitters are not giving us what we actually want, Kolade? Is it their style of play, or they just decided to fuck everyone's FPL up? Pardon my French.
We're getting to that time of the season where managers will be forced to rotate, and they have to change tactics and different stuff so that players don't get burned out and all of that. But about last week, don't even ask me. I forgot to set my team, so I didn't know there was a game on Friday.
Are you serious? Wow. Anyway, I had a good week thanks to Conor Gallagher. I am really, really grateful for that young man. And who knows how he's going to fit into Chelsea's team next season. That is if they decide to not send him on loan.
Why should we? Who would do that? Why not Barcelona? I'm not looking for money.
I hear you. All right, moving swiftly on. Let's start off with Chelsea. We mentioned Conor Gallagher, and it's only right that we start off with Chelsea. Another struggle win for the current holders of the UEFA Champions League. A struggle win because 3-2, the manner in which they scored their 3 goals over the weekend was a bit controversial and not exactly the Chelsea that we are used to. So, Kolade, this one is for you. Do you think it's winning fatigue that is setting in currently for Chelsea, or do you think that the Premier League sides have finally figured out how to stop the Tuchel ban?
Well, it's a bit of both. Like I said weeks ago, Chelsea are victims of their own standards at the moment. Like, you couldn't expect those players to keep on performing at that level every time. They will drop, and I think now we're entering a period where we have games every 3 days. Yep. So you have to. Tuchel has been forced to rotate his squad, and the injuries to a lot of key players, especially in midfield, has affected a lot of balance in their squad. So, and I think Mendy too has been quite inconsistent in the past few games. So
and Kepa is not even an option.
Because I remember when Chelsea fans were saying, "Oh, they are going to concede less than 15 goals this season," I said
they are getting
it will catch up with them eventually. And this past few weeks, I think for the first time this season, Chelsea have conceded 2 goals at least 2 goals in their last 3 games. It has never happened under Tuchel. This is the very first time, and I can still see them struggling out.
They are definitely going to concede. We are still waiting for the time that they will go on a
Don't forget, Mendy goes for the AFCON in January,
and they will have Kepa in the post.
Kepa comes in.
It's going to be scary, but not for us.
Scary hours.
See the man lying in bottom half of La Liga talking about scary enough for us.
I mean, at the end of the day, I know where my club stands, but you guys fall from.
Well, we're standing in the top 3. That's fact.
You guys fall from grace. It's going to be sweet.
Chima, just a quick one, because we want to give the best to our subscribers. I think I'm speaking on behalf of Bolu and even the guys in the background when I say you should not be wearing jerseys like this on set.
If you are going to do slap a Europa League badge on it or something.
Wear proper winning jerseys. You can put on Arsenal and other
moving swiftly on.
Remember I said last week, everything Chima touches turns to L. He's wearing a Barcelona jersey today. Barcelona didn't win over the weekend. Chima, why you?
Don't you ever wear a Super Eagles jersey?
Please, don't wear a Super Eagles jersey. Don't wear Super Eagles jersey for another 1 year.
Sitting in this chair, you cannot really return the banter as you would like. But no worries. One of these days, I will get to sit on this chair and it's going to be hot in the studio. All right, moving swiftly on to Manchester United. 2 wins from 2 Premier League games for Ralph Rangnick and his new pressing Reds. Ole was tricky Reds. Now his Reds are the pressing Reds. The pressing Reds. Yeah.
Exactly. Now 2 or 3 injuries they need. The press go turn stands.
Exactly. So, what do you think he's doing right now that Ole has not been able, or Manchester United have not been, able to figure out? Because even though his team is not scoring as much as fans would like, I mean, they are playing much better football than they've been playing throughout the season. So what is Rangnick doing? What exactly, and it's basically the same set of players. So what exactly has he done to the team that's making it look a little different?
Good coaching structure, first of all, a detailed planning for games. Rangnick, let's not forget, like I said last week, Rangnick didn't coach these players in pre-season, so he has not had time to, instill his instructions and get the fitness where he wants it to be. So it's just instructions, knowing what he wants. He's an experienced manager, he knows what he wants, he has a plan, and has brought his own coaching staff to the club. So they're implementing those ideas, and so far it is making an effect on the team. But in the balance of the season, we don't know how much you'll be able to improve them, or what would come up later in the season. But so far so good, they've been all right. He has made a few tweaks. He has changed up both their fullbacks. That's giving that game a bit more dimension to it, brought a bit more balance to the midfield as well, and the attack, they're pressing too, so they're getting their goals, and they're getting their wins. They're
getting their penalties.
They're unbeaten so far.
For Penaldo to convert.
They're unbeaten so far. So let's see how they do.
Let's see how they
games
do.
Every 3 days.
Yeah,
so
but speaking of their wing backs, I mean, do you think time up for Wan-Bissaka finally in United colours?
Yeah, I think it's time up for the guy. I've always been curious as to what exactly he offers to decide, and for an attacking manager like Rangnick, it's so evident. I think Bolu said the past few weeks that he's curious to see what Wan-Bissaka would look like under Rangnick. And even though he's just recovering from injury, but based on what we've seen so far from United style
injury under Ole for don't
based on what we've seen so far from United style of play, I mean, I don't think Wan-Bissaka.
Well, it's true. I mean, Maguire just came back from injury and went straight into the starting
lineup.
So he probably would have played immediately under Ole. So let's just see how it goes. I mean, Ralph Rangnick is bringing some joy back to Manchester United fans, and let's just see how it goes. If they are going to end up in the top 4 or at least the top 6 for European places, or maybe they will play Conference League like Arsenal this time around. Who knows?
There are 3 trophies to win. There are 3 European trophies to win.
We are not in the Conference League, but go on.
Yeah, you're competing to get in Conference League places for next season.
Both of you may be the 2 English teams to represent England in the Conference League.
And where will Barcelona be representing?
We'll go there. We'll win it.
You go to Copa del Rey.
All right, we're going to take a breather now. When we come back from this short break, we'll be looking at this man's club and the situation surrounding his coach and his captain. Stay with us.
Looking for the best websites for your next game day steak? topbets.com.ng has the juice on all of Nigeria's best gaming websites from Nigeria's biggest gaming companies. Compare the odds and markets and make the best choice for you before you make your next stake. Check out game day reviews, previews, top tips, and predictions to help you make the best choice.
And we're back in your faces. Thank you for staying with us up to this point in time. Thank you for enjoying our content. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Special thanks once more to our sponsor, stopbets.com.ng, for helping us keep the show on the air. Moving swiftly on, now we are going to be looking at North London, the red half of North London, where there's a lot of controversy going on as to if the coach is supposed to remain there or if a certain player is supposed to keep being, keep the armband, keep representing them as the club captain. And there are a lot of controversies going on at the Emirates Stadium, the club that this man has been tied to, like I think his umbilical cord is still connected to the Emirates in some way, because it's becoming a spiritual problem for Kolade. He likes suffering. I'm telling you, he likes suffering. Anyway, moving on. Arsenal has been in shambles for quite a while, but they managed to get a convincing 3-0 win.
We didn't manage. It was a convincing win. It was not managed.
You know what?
We won them fair and clear.
Okay, you know what?
Right now, Southampton will beat Barca right now.
Ooh. Everybody will beat Barcelona.
So
at this point in time, if you decide to use Barcelona as a yardstick for anything, you are just helping us to what's it called? Hype our greatness, because we're
by the way, are you going to have your wedding at Camp Nou? Camp Nou is definitely. For weddings and public events.
I will do it on.
In case you want to have a party too or something. You want to celebrate Christmas at the Camp Nou.
I will make a Barcelona cake and put it on top of that Barcelona badge. Like it will even be epic.
If you want to propose to your partner also on Xavi's seats in the stadium, you can also do that.
All right, so back to us now. Our talking point for this segment. 3-0 against Southampton. I mean, it was an impressive win, but I use the word managed because as Arteta has been struggling with his players, there has been a lot of rumors that he has rift with some players, especially the club captain. But let us start off with an analysis of the game. What did you think Arteta did right this time around?
I think what he just did right was he put his most informed players out there, and it's not a coincidence that Aubameyang has been struggling in front of goal, and the moment he didn't play, we won our first game by 3 goals this season. It's not a coincidence, and I've been part of the people clamoring for Gabriel Martinelli to get the start in the lineup, and he finally did that, and he impressed me a lot, as well as Odegaard. Odegaard is on top form right now, and he kept his place, and he scored once more.
I mean, Emile Smith-Rowe was the one in form at a certain point in time. Now it's time for Odegaard to shine. I mean, if the form keeps trickling down to all of Arsenal's players, who knows? Maybe you guys can actually do what you...
And maybe make it to the Europa Conference League.
Do what you guys actually have in mind this season. But there is a... apart from the Aubameyang issue, there is a nagging feeling surrounding Arsenal fans as to if... Arteta is actually making the best use of his players. For example, in the midfield, where he has Xhaka, he has Partey, he has Maitland-Niles, he has Sambi. Sometimes it feels he has El Neni. Sometimes it feels a little bit unbalanced. There's a niggling feeling that midfield is not creating enough, and because Arteta has actually struggled with goal scorers since he became coach of Arsenal. I mean, look at Lacazette. He's barely making up any goals the way he used to. Aubameyang, who used to be like the biggest goal scorer that Arsenal had, struggling too. And a lot of fans are saying that Arsenal's midfield is the problem. What do you think about these comments?
Yeah, I think I want to agree. And the reason why our forwards are struggling is because of Arteta's laid-back approach of always coming through the flanks. Even under Emery, when Arsenal were bad under Emery, Aubameyang kept on scoring. He kept on scoring goals, but it's no coincidence that under Arteta, not just Aubameyang, our strikers are struggling to make anything of note. Lacazette has only scored twice this season in the Premier League, and Aubameyang is next with 4 goals. So it's a case of... Arteta's approach, always coming to the flanks, and if you notice, when Saka plays, we look more dangerous from the right-hand side. That's the most dangerous side of the wing because we have someone efficient. But aside that role, we always struggle from the middle. I don't think we have
enough
creative names in that. If we add full-backs like, let's say, Trent and Reece James, very attacking-minded full-backs, I can tell you this system.
They have Tierney now. He was always making noise with Tierney at that time. So.
Tierney and Cedric.
Tierney remains world class. I think he has made the most. He's in top 2 chances created from crosses this season. He also gave an assist at the weekend, if I'm correct.
After the first Lago, we will not talk about.
But he gave an assist anyways. That was a technique. That was a technique. To sway the Southampton players away. He still gave an assist, and he did well. He did well for some people's FPL point. Kept a clean sheet as well. So I think basically the problem for Arsenal's forwards is Arteta's style of play. He needs to sort that right. Get more creative names in there. People that are ready to drive through the center and just make progressive passes up front. Xhaka as a CM, He's never wants to go front. He's always looking for sideways or backward passes. He's
more defensive minded.
Partey right now is going through confidence struggles.
Midlife crisis.
Yeah, he recently rated himself 4/10 at Arsenal. If I'm to rate,
and in his next game he dropped a 2/10.
In his next game he dropped a 2/10 performance. So I think there's just a lot going. So maybe the upcoming AFCON can give Partey and Aubameyang some needed time off the team, and maybe they could come back refreshed.
That makes a lot of sense. So let us go straight into Aubameyang. I mean, he was dropped for the game because of disciplinary issues. Whatever it is, they refused to let us know.
No, they did let us know. He came, returned late from a training. They allowed him to travel abroad, but he came after the return date and he didn't give reasons why.
What a captain. I mean, there's a problem with Arsenal Samban. They have a history of problematic
captaincy curse at that club.
Just like Chelsea has the number 9 curse, Arsenal has the captain's curse. I mean, you still have Lukaku, who is barely making
scored
it.
Goals.
He has barely made it out of the hood.
Scored what?
Yeah, scored goals this season.
Scored what?
And speaking of Lukaku, you remember there was an episode where we talked about Aubameyang versus Lukaku.
Then Aubameyang scored like 2 goals or 3 goals back to back. Kolade was saying he would have scored Lukaku.
Like I said, how would you feel, Chima? I mean, you're giving 100 million pounds to make a signing, and you sign it on one player, and he has given you 3 goals by December. How would you feel? That's fraud now. That's fraud. Lukaku has
proper Yahoo boy.
Pure 419 behavior.
After Aubameyang won the FA Cup, what has he done at Arsenal?
He's scoring goals.
Always scoring what goals?
He's scoring goals.
How many goals has he scored since signing his contract?
Smith Rowe has more goals than Lukaku this season.
Anyway, so speaking about
Smith Rowe has more goals than Lukaku.
Has more trophies than all of them combined.
Smith Rowe has more goals than Lukaku.
Let's focus, guys. Speaking on Aubameyang and Lukaku and everything, both of them are both struggling for goals. But looking at Aubameyang right now, first off, I believe that you still hold the opinion that Lukaku is going to outscore Aubameyang.
Of course.
All right, cool. But in the in the grand scheme of things, and without banter involved, do you think Arteta will actually, make the best of his Arsenal squad if Aubameyang keeps coming off the bench, till he regains his form?
That's quite a difficult question, because we've talked about the creativity problem they have, and the problem with strikers they've also had. The strikers not converting chances, not getting enough chances. I think on paper it could work, having a goal scorer, prolific goal scorer like Aubameyang come off the bench. Against Everton, he came off the bench where he came in. He had a chance. 5
minutes. It's not like anything.
He had a chance at literally with the last kick of the game and hit his shot wide. That's the kind of, if all had gone to plan, that's kind of match-winning goal performance or game-changing performance that you say, he came on and changed the game and his confidence goes up from there. The same way, like I said, came on against Crystal Palace, got the last-minute equalizer, and now he's playing in the team. So on paper it could work, but then looking at Aubameyang is going for AFCON in the next few weeks, there's probably not enough time to get that chemistry going before he is off to AFCON, and then they would have to depend on Lacazette and Martinelli. So, it looks like, and like Kolade said, having time off during AFCON will probably help Aubameyang mentally to get back to where he should be. We probably don't expect Gabon to go into the knockout stages.
They are coming back.
So he'll probably be back after 2 weeks. That 2 week break could actually be good for Aubameyang, and he could backfire or back in a better state of mind.
Which means Lukaku has should I say 3 weeks to
Even if Aubameyang gives him 4 weeks extra, there's nothing that can come out of it.
See.
Anyway, let's see what happens at the end of it all. If Aubameyang or if Lukaku will outscore each other. When we come back from this short break, we'll be going straight into the UEFA competitions. Stay with us. All right, moving swiftly on to the Europa League, where we have the star match, the Barcelona versus Napoli. I mean, it's a very interesting match, very interesting matchup. I mean, to actually gauge the level that Xavi can be able to
but no interesting matchup.
It is a very interesting matchup.
We all of us in this room saw your initial reaction to getting Napoli. You saw the depression that came upon you when you got Napoli. Don't act like you're confident.
I mean, I love Victor Osimhen so much.
They will teach you guys a lesson.
He's just going to come to do at the Camp Nou is to take pictures because he's going to.
All I want to hear that night is Victor
Osimhen. He's not going to get.
Please, at least 2 or 3 goals.
He's not going to get anything
for the culture.
I mean, Diego Maradona's spirit will leave Napoli and come and settle in.
They named their stadium after him. You think?
It depends.
They named their stadium after him and they're chasing the title this season. Who do you think the spirit of Maradona is with?
Still going to leave Napoli just for that game and come and settle upon Barcelona.
I like to see Osimhen against Piqué and Araujo.
Well, he's going to. I mean, they almost have the same physical capabilities, but it's going to really be a strong battle when that time comes. All right, let's look at that game quickly now. So Barcelona, Napoli. What are your thoughts on the matchup? What are your predictions? Let's go.
February is still a very long time. It's still too far to say what could or what could not happen. But right now, based on what we've seen from both teams so far this season, Napoli, I'll be surprised to see. I'll be surprised to see if Napoli don't make it past Barca to the next round. I mean, let's even take the fact that they've been playing without their top scorer for the past few games in Victor Osimhen, and they've still been, they've been struggling. I think they lost at the weekend as well. But before February, Osimhen will be back on full cylinders as well, and Barca's defense has just been shambolic against Osasuna. Just when we thought you guys were going to claim a win, you saw what happened again. Piqué is going to play, right? As long as Piqué is the defender for that game, then Osimhen will score at least 2 goals.
Interesting. So, Bolu, what are your thoughts on the game?
Victor Osimhen. I think Napoli have a better structure. They have a better spine this season. Like we said, they are chasing the title. They have a very good balance to their team. Koulibaly is the leader in defense. They have Anguissa and Fabian Ruiz in midfield. They have Osimhen in front. They have Mertens there. They have Insigne. So they have much more about their team. Even if Osimhen is missing, they have a lot of other
they do.
And that's what's missing at Barca right now. They don't have a spine. It's just players trying to try to get in from another. They don't have a particular spine. Okay, these are the performers in each game. And
that's why has failed to be consistent.
Yeah, it's failed to be consistent. That's why I think when February comes around, barring any injury crisis or anything to Napoli or wherever, I think Napoli will just show that they have a better balanced team at the moment, and that would just show.
Napoli currently have a balanced team. They have a higher ceiling than Barcelona currently, but it's going to be Xavi's biggest test. No matter who he plays in La Liga before that time, it's actually going to be his biggest test. I mean, dropping from the Europa League is already a problem. Dropping to the Europa League rather is already a problem, but now facing a team that is currently competing for top honors in their league is actually going to be his biggest test.
And might I add, it also for Napoli, from their point of view, it poses a brilliant challenge for them.
Yeah.
They are one of the favorites for the Europa League this season. And they can beat Barcelona in the first round of the knockout.
Give them that momentum.
Yeah, to really catapult them, and I think that's the case. That's what's going to be.
So it's a game that both Spalletti and Xavi have to win. To help
life comes at you fast. I remember Chima saying 2 weeks ago, if we go to the Europa, we go beat them.
We're just saying, we're just saying them jokingly that if Napoli catch them in the quarterfinal or semi-finals, this is the first round of the knockouts. Ooh.
I still maintain that Barcelona can pull off a miracle.
My prediction for that game is Napoli 3, Barca 1.
What's your prediction?
2 goals.
Over aggregate.
For the first, over aggregate.
I think it will be 4-1 over aggregate.
No, that's 1 leg.
1 leg.
4-1 over aggregate. Osimhen will score 2 or 3 of the goals and have at least 1 assist.
All I know is Barcelona is qualifying. Thank you so much for staying with us up to this point in time. When we come back from this short break, we'll be wrapping up the show. And that's it for this week's episode of Naija Football Talk. It's been an amazing time in the studio with the boys. There's been a lot of banter going around, and yeah, it's quite a fun time. Anytime we have to come, sit here, talk football with you guys watching us and interacting with our content. We appreciate you so much for being with us up to this point in time. Special thanks to our sponsors, stopbets.com.ng. Make sure you visit them before you make your next stake so that you can smile to the bank just like your friends do. And finally, we would like to inform you of our Instagram page where we have a weekly show called Naija Ballers, where we focus on Nigerian players balling abroad. I mean, Emmanuel Dennis is currently in hot form, Taiwo Awoniyi is currently in hot form, and we're focusing on these ballers and other Nigerian ballers who have been taking Europe by storm. So if you want to know the best of the best information on who is who in Nigeria across Europe, make sure you follow our Instagram page and watch our video on Naija Ballers. And that's it for this week's episode of the show. Thank you so much once again for sticking with us. My name is Chima. I'm from Kolade, Bolu, and myself. Stay jiggy.